Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. I want to put a ding in the universe. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Sometimes when you innovate, you make mistakes. It is best to admit them quickly and get on with improving your other innovations. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. Creativity is just connecting things. You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. We're here to put a dent in the universe. Otherwise, why else even be here? I think if you do something and it turns out pretty good, then you should go do something else wonderful, not dwell on it for too long. Just figure out what's next. I'm as proud of what we don't do as I am of what we do. Details matter, it's worth waiting to get it right. My favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's really clear that the most precious resource we all have is time. You can't get rid of the fear, but you can find ways to work with it. It's not the customer's job to know what they want. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I was worth about over $1 million when I was 23 and over $10 million when I was 24 and over $100 million when I was 25, and it wasn't that important because I never did it for the money. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. It's more fun to be a pirate than to join the Navy. Quality is more important than quantity. One home run is much better than 2 doubles. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. I think the things you regret most in life are the things you didn't do. Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. The journey is the reward. Do you want to spend the rest of your life selling sugared water, or do you want a chance to change the world? It's really hard to design products by focus groups. A lot of times, people don't know what they want until you show it to them. You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone, if possible, Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. I think the things you most regret in life are things you didn't do. What you really regret was never asking that girl to dance. Great artists steal. If you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. I want to make a ding in the universe. The products suck. There's no sex in them anymore. You've got to start with the customer experience and work backward to the technology. 42. Don't let others convince you that the idea is good when your gut tells you it's bad. When you're a carpenter making a beautiful chest of drawers, you're not going to use a piece of plywood on the back, even though it faces the wall and nobody will ever see it. You'll know it's there, so you're going to use a beautiful piece of wood on the back. In most people's vocabularies, design means veneer. It's interior decorating. It's the fabric of the curtains and the sofa. But to me, nothing could be further from the meaning of design. We think the Mac will sell zillions, but we didn't build the Mac for anybody else. We built it for ourselves. We were the group of people who were going to judge whether it was great or not. We weren't going to go out and do market research. I want to put a ding in the universe. I want to create a precedent. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. If you don't love something, you're not going to go the extra mile, work the extra weekend, challenge the status quo as much. Sometimes when you innovate, you make mistakes. It is best to admit them quickly and get on with improving your other innovations. I think different religions are different doors to the same house. Sometimes I think the house exists and sometimes I don't. It's the great mystery. We're not going to be the first to this party, but we're going to be the best. A lot of times, people don't know what they want until you show it to them. I was lucky. I found what I love to do early in life. My model for business is the Beatles. They were four guys who kept each other's kind of negative tendencies in check. They balanced each other, and the total was greater than the sum of the parts. I want to make a dent in the universe. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. You can't just ask customers what they want and then try to give that to them. By the time you get it built, they'll want something new. I'm actually as proud of many of the things we haven't done as the things we have done. The people who built Silicon Valley were engineers. They learned business, they learned a lot of different things, but they had a real belief that humans, if they worked hard with other creative, smart people, could solve most of humankind's problems. I believe that very much. It's not the tools that you have faith in. Tools are just tools. They work or they don't work. It's people you have faith in or not. We hire people who want to make the best things in the world. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. You can't mandate productivity. You must provide the tools to let people become their best. Things don't have to change the world to be important. It's a very strange thing when you make nature illegal. Greatness is not about convincing others that you are great. It's about having others believe in their own potential for greatness. Your customers dream of a happier and better life. Don't move products. Enrich lives. The cure for Apple is not cost-cutting. The cure for Apple is to innovate its way out of its current predicament. I'm not dismissing the value of higher education. I'm simply saying it comes at the expense of experience. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. If you want to live your life in a creative way as an artist, you have to not look back too much. You have to be willing to take whatever you've done and whoever you were and throw them away. I think the things you most regret in life are things you didn't do. What you really regret was never asking that girl to dance. When you're young, you look at television and think there's a conspiracy. The networks have conspired to dumb us down. But when you get a little older, you realize that's not true. The networks are in business to give people exactly what they want. Being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we've done something wonderful, that's what matters to me. I'm an optimist in the sense that I believe humans are noble and honorable, and some of them are really smart. I have a very optimistic view of individuals. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. Quality is more important than quantity. One home run is much better than 2 doubles. You can't do it unless you can imagine it. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice.